Hello, officially hello. If you are here or if you are at home or in your office, and interesting to know more about the relationship with money. And yes, we are here. I'm Michelle, I'm from Brazil. But at this moment, I'm in Europe, in Italy. And I'm in a very serious relationship with my money for a long, long time, and adding some fun during this period. And the idea to offer this workshop and having this topic, money, in an important place in my life, and supporting my clients to deal with money. It's increase this relationship. Yeah, it's about be more comfortable, be more honest, be more myself in this important relationship. Then we will stay together for almost 2 hours. I designed this webinar to be more experiential. Yeah, I'm bringing a small piece of theory, and in my view, what is more relevant is what will happen in yourself, in your mind, in your feelings, and your thoughts. This will be more important. And let's see then in the future what you can say about this time that you are dedicating here. Yeah. Well, now that we are here, I'd like to invite each of you to hold a few seconds, just a few seconds of silence. Silence in honor of those who are not here. I was thinking this morning about the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. And then I was also thinking about the tragedies that we know, and about these tragedies, about all the situations, and that are not on TV. And I also thinking about our ancestors who gave us life. And it's a life in a way that today we can live much more easily if we compare with their times, their lives. We have technology, we have so much different things that in the past was not possible. Okay, thank you. And bringing money for the table, I have 2 questions for you, and Marguerite will help me organizing small rooms in pairs. And you will have 7 minutes to think about it and share what is comfortable for you to share with your colleague. 2 questions. The first one is, what was the last expense that you had? The last expense. What was, when, what was about? The second question is, what was the last time you received, you earned money? When, what was about, okay? Then we will bring these two aspects in relationship with money. What we receive and what we send out, yeah? When you are ready, Marguerite, please.
Okay, Michelle, you're going to get an invitation, so you just won't accept it, okay? Oh, how long do you want?
7 minutes.
7.
Yeah, 7.
There we go.
I think we can stop record.
Oh, thank you. Record.
I'm here waiting for you all. Great. Okay. I'd like to hear who is comfortable to share something regarding the first question about some expenses, recent expenses. Can I hear someone? Good. Hadia.
Hi, I'm happy to go. So for me, what happened is two things. The meaning around expense, I was trying to understand. So first, my immediate thought went to a big expense. What was the last big expense? And then as I talked in the breakout room, the other thought came is like the last recent expense. So it might not have been big. It might be a small thing that I just spent recently. So that was what was interesting, is that automatically I went to a big expense, but perhaps it could be just the last thing I spent an hour before I joined the webinar, for example.
Good. And what is the meaning of this insight for you right now?
It just seems that my focus is on bigger spending. It seems like automatically I went to a big expenditure rather than thinking of a small little thing that I might have spent on a croissant. Or...
Good, powerful. Thank you. I saw more hands some minutes ago. Who would like to share about expensive? Pat, please.
I had almost a similar experience as Rawia. I went for something that had stayed in my mind as an expense, and because it was significant in that I was talking about it afterwards and recognizing and like having conversations with people about this expense. And then I was like, oh, maybe you mean literally the last expense, the last thing I spent. So then I went to my bank and literally looked at what was the last thing that I spent, which was like a very small, in comparison, thing. So we had a kind of like a similar sort of, I don't know, process around it maybe. So we talked a little bit about that. So yeah.
Good, Pat. Yes, I have some thoughts here. Let's see if it's useful to share later. Who would like to share something about receiving money? Oh my gosh, Sing Fivi, how can I say your name?
You can say Sim to make it easier,
Sim.
but yes, otherwise it's Simpiwe.
Thank you,
So I
Sim.
think, thank you, Michelle. I think between myself and Rory, we bonded more than we answered the questions and figured out that we live around the same area, and yeah, started talking a little bit about our experience with TA. But what came up for me for the second question is when she started talking about the amount of stuff that she does that she doesn't get paid for. It made me actually realize that I think in the last few years, I've done so much for people, but without getting any income for those. But also at the same time, if I compare the last time I received an income or money was 30th of Jan, whereas the last expense was yesterday. So again, it just sort of amplifies how much I'm getting less but giving more. So that's what came up for me.
Oh, Sim. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And I'm curious about something, about what happened in your breakout rooms. Can I ask? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Well, you had a task and a time to do this task, 7 minutes. And I'm curious if the time that I gave was too much, or if when the topic is money, you use to do other things instead to be with your money. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, in my own experience, money is not it's not a topic that you hear of on a daily basis, like even amongst friends or with family. It's not it's like, it's one of those things we wait for until month end. Then month end, let's talk money. But in the middle of the month, please don't talk about money. And ironically, today is the middle of the month. So it's like, really, do you want me to talk about money now? So I think for me, even though it wasn't conscious, but yeah, it has to do with avoidance of the topic. So that's why we spent, I think, 3 minutes talking about the two questions and 4 minutes and over talking about other things. So
I
in my
see.
experience.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's wonderful. I'm getting emotional here because it's so powerful. What happened, what emerges when we decide to focus in something, yeah? And well, we'll stay more time here only talking about money, and my invitation will be a very strong relationship with money starting today. Thinking on money every day, some days more than once, twice, 3 times, yeah? And having money as a friend. Yeah. Wonderful. Good. One more voice, please, about receiving money. Joanna or Johanna?
Joanna or Joe, please. Also, you can call me Joe. That's easier. Hi,
yes,
everybody.
It is.
Sorry, I'm late. I had a meeting that ran over. I'm based in Cape Town and very happy to be joining today. In terms of the last time I earned money, I was talking with Kirsty, and I am in the very happy position today where almost every hour of my day today has been a paid hour, because I am working on a consulting project. So I put in 2 hours on that project today, and I will be paid by the hour for those 2 hours. And in addition, I do some art coaching. I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, and I'm an artist. And I do all sorts of activities around these things. And today I had a 3-hour art coaching class. So 5 hours of my day, which is most of the day, I've actually been paid for, which is very exciting, because like you, Sim, maybe not like exactly like you, but your comment made me think about my last year, where every single month my expenses were at least double my income. every single month last year. So it's a huge shift for me, and I could reflect very positively with Kirsty that today is one of those days where it's different, and it felt very good.
Good. Thank you, Jo. And the main feeling right now with this realization is?
I would say safety and calm.
I pick up something different.
Excitement.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it because it was a struggle last year and it was very stressful because I've chosen all my career paths are independent and self-driven, and I'm sure most of you know that can be challenging. So yeah, I am excited about it. You're absolutely right. But also there's a groundedness that I haven't felt. I did not feel that last year.
Yeah. Can I ask something more private?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes I need seconds to find the word in English because my thought was in Portuguese. Jo, what you are saying, it's wonderful because you had in yourself the comparative with last year that you mentioned, yeah? And when I ask you about the feeling and you answer, didn't match for me, yeah? And then I thought, maybe Jo is not comfortable to celebrate in public this. Maybe there's a bit of shame for something, or I don't know. How is for you, my reflection?
I think that's a fair reflection. I think that everybody has such a different experience with money that to bring in money can mean something not positive to somebody else. So I am generally very conscious of where someone else may be coming from, maybe too much sometimes, and I might self-censor a little bit in the hopes that I wouldn't make somebody feel badly about themselves, but I've taken that to an extreme. So I think you're absolutely right. There was a part of me that wouldn't want to be too sort of boastful or seem too proud, maybe.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Good. Yes. Well, we are becoming more aware about our relationship with money, and to increase this process, I'd like to invite you to write down something. I will give you just the beginning of the sentence. And my invitation is that you use our chat here at Zoom, use the chat, to write down your answer, okay? The beginning of the sentence is, I can write down too. Good idea. Where is the chat here? Okay. The beginning of the sentence. Money is. Write down what is money for you. What's the meaning of money? Money is security. Money is energy. Money is necessary. Money is an exchange. Money is a flow of energy. Write what you have in mind. Money is anxiety when it's not there. Good, the absence of money. Money is stressful. Yeah. Money is erratic. Money is an exchange of something you bring to life. Money can be a breaker in families. Interesting. Money is a necessity. Good. Money is an enabler. I need an explanation, Joe. What is an enabler? I don't know this word.
It can facilitate the things that you want in life. So it can give you the things that you desire.
Okay. Thank you. And I need, Kirsty, the meaning of erratic.
Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So it's erratic, it's unreliable.
Good. Thank you. Money is sometimes a bond. Money is a means of exchange. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'd like to know if you have in your country, in your culture, you have famous quotes about money, or sometimes is part of a poem or part of a song. You have something that you can share. In Brazil, happens something very, very funny. Truckers used to have some sentences. And sometimes it's about money. Money brings more money. Okay. Money does not grow on trees. We have in Portuguese, Laio, this one too. Yeah. Money doesn't grow on trees. It's a pity. Another one, oh my gosh. Okay, English, happiness doesn't come from money. Oh, this is terrible. Money can't buy you love. Yeah. Money comes and goes. And maybe reading this, you can remember some beliefs in your family. What's the most significant beliefs about money in your family? Money talks. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. If you earn easily, you will also lose it easily. You need to work hard for it. Also the same, Lyle and Kirsty. You have to work hard. Yeah. The same family? No?
Same different families, but yeah.
But the same association? Okay. We find each other in some way.
Yeah.
You have to work hard, yes. Not a saying, but a belief in the family of Orange that with money comes respect. Yeah. Good. Okay. Thank you. We have a lot of collaboration. More here. You need to be careful about money. Penny wise, pound foolish. Wow. My family all rely on one person to be the money hero. Interesting to think about a generation, Kirsty. If in each generation there is a hero, a money hero or not, if you skip generation or in all generation. Yeah. Good.
Interesting question. I'm not sure the answer.
Yeah. 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 Thank you. Yeah, one of my desires bringing this topic for our webinar is invite you to be like a detective about yourself and your family. We'll do some activity here together, and will be good if you continue, if you like the idea, talking with parents if it's possible, or brothers and sisters if you have someone around, because it's so strong when we relate to money, our beliefs, and the way that we spend, what we understand that we need to do to earn. All this we have around a lot of beliefs. Yeah. In Brazil, for example, it's very common to hear that money is dirty. Then if you have money, if you show that you have money, then it's worst. Yeah. And well, and thinking more systemic about it, if one person or one family has this kind of beliefs, what can happen with a neighborhood, a city, or a country? And thinking if we have people earning money, having more money than needed, and is not allowed to show, there is a huge space for illegal things, for example, if I can show. Yeah. Well, but we are here to see more in an intimacy way what's going on between us and our money. And to prepare for the next activity, will be good if you have paper and pencil with you to write down with your hands something regarding your family. My idea is bring some piece of theory that I learned with our colleague Gloria Noriega from Mexico. When I met Gloria years ago, we were together in Peru, in the capital of Peru, Lima. And she already earned the Eric Berne Memorial Award with her work regarding transgenerational script. And that time I was not working this topic yet, money. I was dealing with another things. But when I enter in the airplane to come back home, having her work in mind, I started to think, how can I be more aware about my relationship with money using the research and the theory which Gloria presented, the transgenerational script. And then I started my own journey, and something that I think it's so powerful in TA is to find names for what's going on. Yeah. And then I started to name some parts, some thoughts about my own relationship with money. And then with one-on-one, in one-on-one sessions with clients, I started to bring these ideas, and was good. I liked the results. And then I offered the first money workshop in Brazil, and was wonderful, powerful for myself, for the group, and then I decided to offer this workshop around my country. I started to travel, and was amazing to see the differences among the regions in my country. And then I was invited to go abroad and share these ideas abroad. And the most excited moment for me was in a ITAA and EATA, no, I think it was only ITAA conference, it was not with EATA, yeah, conference, when I presented this specific workshop, and Gloria was there. And then it was amazing. I could share with her what happened with a seed that she gave to me many years ago. Then was amazing. And then we could, at that time, she developed more and more the theory. There is the more recent publication on TAJ was in 2019, was the last article that resumed all the research and the questionnaire regarding transgenerational script. And then for me, it's important to share this little history, because it's the base of my thinking here. Yeah, I will share for you. I think I have a quote that I prepared. Let me see here. I will share my screen with you. Just a moment. How can I do this in this way? Yeah. I don't use PowerPoint so frequently, but when I'm speaking another language, they're not, and not Portuguese, I think it's useful. Yes, I have here. Good. Just put. Here. Yeah. Here we go. Good. In this slide, we have a beautiful picture from Gloria Noriega and a funny one from Eric Berne playing something. Yeah. And when I start to think more seriously about money, I was looking for something in Berne's books, some mention about money. And I found a sentence saying that one of the easiest easiest way to go to the script is looking for the money. Yeah, is not looking for, is see the money. Yeah. And then since then I'm experienced how powerful is to touch this topic money with my clients and be more aware about the script. Yeah. And another quote that helped me in my work was this one that I wrote here, because this sentence connects with Gloria's studies. To make a lady, you start with the grandmother. And the idea, this quote was part of the paragraph about the script parade. Yeah, in this book, what do you say after you say hello? And later, my contact with TA, I started to study family constellation. And I had an opportunity with Bert Hellinger, and I presented myself as a TA practitioner, and then something that I heard about it was confirmed, that he used a lot of TA theory in his work. And then I increased my studies, and I became a professional family constellator. And bringing TA and constellation together, I'm noticing in my clients some similarities with the ancestors, yeah, in terms of relationship with money. And the activity that I will ask you to do now is a mix that I did with these two theoretical bases. What I learned as a transactional analyst and as a constellator, right? Okay, the idea is the following. Have in mind 6 people: mom, dad, grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, and grandfather. Yeah? These 6 people. And I have something here. We'll do this investigation as a detective with each of one of these 6 people in my family. For example, I have this slide here for you. I put myself, then I have my mother, my father, the grandmother and grandfather of my mother, grandmother and grandfather of my father. Yeah? Write down these 6 names in your paper, please. And then, in each name, we'll do a little exploration, what I know, what I heard about this person in relation to earning money in that time or spending money. And then you will have these 2 lists for each person. Okay? You have the 6 people from your family, and then for each one we will think two aspects. What you know about the way that this person earned money or spend money. Okay? And if you remember the concept of life, existential life position, this is something that you can add, thinking about the relationship with money and your mother, your father relation with money, your grandfather relation with money. Yeah, there is something in terms of existential life position that you can bring in your perception. Yeah, when we had the opportunity to live at the same time with this person, is easy. But if you didn't have the opportunity to live, probably you heard something about it. Is a second option. But okay, if you didn't heard nothing, it's a no spoken person in your family, use your intuition. This is the third option. There is no way to escape of this activity. Okay?
Love it.
And for this, I will give you more time. And the idea to go to breakout rooms is to hear yourself. Yeah, you will remember or use your intuition, and you are right, and you are share with your colleague at the same time, or you can decide what you do first. But you will have, for these 6 people, 20 minutes together. Yeah, you have time. And use this time to explore. And it's very important for each one pay attention, receiving or spending. It's very important. Yeah. Then doesn't matter if you have in mind is a verb, adjective, substantive. Maybe you can have image, a color. Be free to explore your mind. Could be an emotion. Yeah. Just write down what you access when you are in contact with this ancestor. Okay? 20 minutes together. Marguerite, pairs again. Yeah.
Oh, you want pairs?
Pairs, yeah.
Okay.
For 20 minutes. You will be a detective. It's a piece of your transgenerational script, maybe. Let's see.
Sorry. There we go. All right. Shall I open all rooms?
Yes, please, Marguerite.
Okay, there we go.
Wonderful. We are together again.
Have you been bored again? Have you been lonely?
Yes. Yes, it was true. So It's so amazing for me, this opportunity. Thank you, Marguerite, for the invitation. Every time that I'm more involved with one topic, I can be more and more aware about myself and what's going on around this so important relationship. And Karen, can I listen to you? If you are comfortable, please. In this piece of being a detective about your family and their relationship with money, there is something that pick up your attention.
It was really interesting, although it wasn't part of the question, but I realized that my mom only died when I'm in my middle 60s. And so I've got much more of a sense of how a relationship with money changed compared to my dad, who died when I was 20. Not really an adult yet. So that interested me. And then my grandparents were the relationship was mostly until I was 18. So from being born to 18. But it really struck me, my mom's journey into her 90s, how impacted I was by her relationship to money. And I think generally all my ancestors had little, but were generous within them. And then my mom, in the last maybe 20 years of her life, became very anxious about, will she have enough to see her out? So that was, because of her longer life, something a little bit different that I'm very mindful of. And I wonder how much of that is with me. I can recognize the generosity that I link to all the others, but then that anxiety and caution. And am I doing what she's doing, or am I doing the reverse because she was so cautious? So I'm kind of going into anti-script. Useful to have that wondering.
I can see. And it's your mom in your background, that picture?
No, that's me. A friend. Yeah.
I'm curious if it was, as you mentioned, your mom. There is something that belongs to her in this room that you are now?
In the role that I'm in, or the room?
The room.
The room. Yes, there is.
Can I see if it's possible?
Yeah. She had this little crystal angel that she always liked to have in her pocket. And it sits on my meditation space in my room.
Oh, beautiful. An angel. Yeah. And when you say pocket is the place who...
So in what she wore, it would be in her pocket or pinned onto her collar often. So on her person, on her clothes.
Beautiful and significant. Yeah. And having contact with this little angel, I remember in some cultures, it's common to have this kind of small and significant object inside the wallet. Do you know about it? We have some beliefs in Brazil about it. It's very interesting. The kind of object and the meaning of the object and what is the relation with money. Yeah. Good. Okay, Ashkan, would you like to say something? Hello, good to see you again.
You too. Yeah, we have some religious beliefs about having some special money in your wallet. that says, in some special occasions, Muslims give money to each other, like maybe the death of someone or some special days in the year, and that money would be somehow holy. That says, if you keep it in your wallet, that will bring you more money.
Very useful gift, right?
I don't believe in them, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's something based in trust and beliefs. Yeah. Good, good. Okay. I'd like to hear one more voice. Sophie, are you okay to share if you have something that highlight?
Yeah. It was very interesting for me. Two aspects came very strongly in the discussion we had with Marguerite and sorry, and was here with me. Joanna, I was looking for you. The place of the gender around money in the family. And what was really interesting for me was also understanding where the money come from and how it's impacting the script. And some money are inherited, received from the ancestor, and some money are earned. And the relationship with that money and the existential life position is very different. So there was all aspect around privileges that came to mind when it comes to money. And it's true in Africa and it's true in France as well, especially in the past. The inheritance was through the line of male firstborn. So the male firstborn will receive more, and then it will go down, down, down. And if you the fourth, and in traditional French family at the time was quite a number of children, the Catholic family. And so if you are fifth born, you're less lucky in a way, you have less privilege. And if you are female, you even down the rank even more. So it's been interesting to explore that and to see how it's impacted my mom and our relationship, and therefore see what was passed on.
So interesting. So interesting. Thank you, Sophie. Yeah.
And I was saying that I'm going to, so I'm based in Kenya. And my family is in France, and I'm visiting them, which is unusual, but I'm visiting them on Friday, and I'm looking forward to have those conversations, to explore with them.
Oh,
it would be
I'm
very
glad.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah. Yeah. I will share a board here to invite you to think something with me. Yeah. Okay. For example, I have mom here and father here. Yeah. Then I investigate about receiving money or spending money. Okay. Forgive me. My draw is not a strong part of me. Okay. And the same for grandmother and grandfather of each side. Okay. Then it's me. And I'm receiving money and I'm spending money. Yeah. Let's see what you can find that is in common looking. We have this person here, the mother's family here for the father's family. Yeah, we have these 6 people. And what you have in common that you can bring. For example, there is some aspect here about earning money that I have the same in my life. Then I can add for me. Another thing, it's here. From my father, 2 aspects. My grandfather, more 1 aspect. Okay, let's collect and build your own characteristics, looking first from our family. And you can notice similarities or absolutely the opposite. And to see the opposite is relevant too. Because could be that to have now in this age some opposite characteristics, maybe you did something significant. Or your father or your mother did something that changed the pattern. To build your lists about earning money and spending money, you can bring something from your ancestors, or you can realize that you have new characteristics that is completely different from your family. And will be interesting if you have the opportunity, like Sophie, to talk with someone from your family, to see what was passing generation by generation, exactly the same thought or the same feeling or the same characteristics, or not. In some point, something happened and changed it. In my view, life gives to us a lot of opportunities to improve ourselves in many ways, including the relationship with money, that money is a symbol. And I love it when I read in the beginning of this webinar, when you wrote that money is an energy. This is part of my belief. I recognize in myself as an energy. An energy of based in exchange. And now, Joe, please, I can have you.
Thanks. I'm curious about the influence of my aunt, my father's sister, because she seemed to behave very differently to the other women in my family, my grandmothers, my mother. And I'm wondering about that influence on me and how that might play into this.
Okay, but she is from your father's side.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing related to your mother. Forget your mother. Yeah, okay. It's about your father's family. Mm-hmm. Is she the oldest, the youngest?
Oldest.
The oldest, okay. Could be something. What about her relationship with her father? You know something?
I think quite distant, not a close relationship.
Yeah. Is she alive?
Yes.
Ah, wonderful. I'll show you something that it's like because I need her here to explore more. I need answers. But she is alive. There is something that I used to do. Look, I know we are recording this is forever, yeah. Then it's not a rule. It's like just a remember that I have when I have just a few minutes with a client who wants to clarify something, and I have the sense that there is a transgenerational piece here. Okay. Well, no, I will draw in the way that is possible. I have here my client. And in your case, Joe, my client here is what is her name?
Melanie.
Oh, look. I was already writing M. Oh my gosh. I love the phenomenological part of the work. Okay, Melanie. Then I have here father's Melanie, mother's Melanie, and the grand line 2. Okay. Then to investigate something very quickly about Melanie's personality, I'm going to the next generation. Sorry, I did it wrong here. This is the father. Next generation, changing the gender. One more generation, changing the gender. And I will skip this generation. Okay. Then I have here the grandmother for the father side. And I, as Bernd said, look at the grandmother. What I learned is to go to the opposite gender in the ancestor line. Okay. Then I will investigate what is about Melanie and this lady here that can bring some light in the aspect that we are looking. And I used to do this, as I told you, when I have short time with my client and in a specific topic. Yeah. And this investigation, in this investigation, we could find something that is absolutely similar or absolutely the opposite. The extremes used to happen. Yeah. Yeah, because the answer for your first question, John, is I don't know what could happen. Yeah, but there is something regarding when everything is going in a routine way in the transgenerational script, and when we have tragedies. What kind of tragedies? Deaths, difficult deaths in the family, assassinations, murders. When we have tragedies regarding money, that involves money, partnerships, in the work level, this kind of stuff. Yeah, or terrible diseases this can bring some situations that changes the pattern. Or sometimes we have families with tragic situations has a pattern. Skipping generations. Generation 1, generation 3, generation 5. Yeah. And it's not easy to investigate what happened in the past because we don't have access. People used to be dead early. Yeah. But very interesting. I'm loving to see that you are bringing pieces of your family. This is a very good way to have more contact with ourselves. Makes sense for you, Joe, in some way?
Yeah, it definitely does. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm aware of time. I'm sharing with you some activities that I used to do in a regular workshop with much more time together. And as my proposal here is invite you to be more aware, to expand your frame of reference as possible during this time together. I need to be in a way to close some process that we already open here. And my last invitation, and then we start to close. Or Sin is asking for the part 2. Of course it's possible to do the part 2, yeah. I made a new discover about my relationship with money recently. Then will be the first time that I'm saying aloud what I discover, yeah? And I decided to be courageous about it. And I did a beautiful slide to share my thought with you. I used to do this exercise, money is, every time that I'm struggling with something, yeah, regarding money. For example, I present a proposal for a company for some coaching program for employees, and I was cautious about the price because we are living a crisis, all the run. And then I received an offer that my first impression was terrible, and I felt in my body so discomfort reading that counter proposal, this kind of stuff, yeah. And then it's useful for me to do what I offer to you in the beginning of the webinar. At this moment, what is money for me? Because I'm not uncomfortable about my what I offer. I'm not uncomfortable about the kind of work, the amount of work, what's the number? Then, this moment, what is money for me? Yeah. And then I can be very, it's only for myself, I can be honest, genuine about it. Yeah. And usually when I have in mind the answer, I experience a relief in my body. And my body is my buddy, my best friend. Help me to understand what's going on. Yeah. Okay. The sentence. What I realized that was money for me that day, and that is increasing, is this one. That money is about self-worth. And this realization continue to be powerful. And if it's for me, it's about other, in my belief. And if I'm in a negotiation with a client and I'm thinking in my self-worth, what I can offer in terms of others' worth in this negotiation. Yeah. Then it's something that I'm in process. And I'm leaving these thoughts with you. Could be useful, could be not. Yeah. And Ravia, I'm connect with you when you said regarding money, it's easier for you to think in big stuff. And self-worth has a daily basis, right? Self-worth is about my sleep, is about the quality of my breakfast, if I have breakfast or not, the quality of my clothes, the contact with my body. It's about many, many, many simple and small things. And sometimes something big. Sometimes something big. Yeah. Makes sense for you, Ravia, as I mentioned you?
Yes, it does. And in our discussion, definitely self-worth did come up in relation to money when we were talking about the generational. But there's something else that also has come to me, which is to do with freedom. Because I'm half Lebanese, half Ghanaian. And when I was young in Lebanon, I was aware that it's the male part in the family that earned the money. And I could see the dependency of women on men. And it's something I wanted to get away from. So I saw education and money as a way to freedom and not to be dependent on someone else. So by being able to make it for myself, it gives me freedom. So I sort of see that more clearly than I did before, that there's an element of freedom connected to money somehow. And the extent to which generations have gone and the sacrifices they've made to make money. Which brings me to the self-worth in a way. Maybe they felt that it was needed to be somebody to be respected. You needed to earn a certain, something around how important it was. And it really led to huge sacrifices to make money.
I experiencing hearing my breathing. It's difficult to breathe hearing you.
Yeah.
Significant things could happen. Yeah.
Well, you know, what's interesting, you talked about like the connecting, like if I think of myself to think in relation to my paternal grandmother, that's the line.
Yeah.
And what makes me think, and maybe that's what brings the emotion, is the sacrifices she has made, because my grandfather had to leave her and travel on a ship in those days to Ghana and Africa to make money and a living. And she was left behind. These were times when, you know, it took ages to get a letter or any kind of contact. So how far he had to go to make money, to have a living. And she was apart from him for a long, long time with her kids, and then eventually had to join him and leave everything behind and, you know, have a life with him. And for me, this is like quite a sacrifice to be apart for that long and to really leave everything and follow. and it's something I see in the generation, you know, on both sides.
Yeah. And I'm thinking here to have money, the huge, it's not big, it's huge. And maybe there is another word in English that I don't know, more than huge, sacrifice to have money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that helped me, and I can see that gives support for my clients that is struggling in the goal to earn more money. Yeah, of course, it's a practical administration that we need to do in terms of how much we earn, how much we spend, this kind of stuff. But here is not about finances, okay? It's about a relationship with money. Something that I used to work is the concept of abundance. Regarding money, I have three aspects to understand myself. If I'm in scarcity, or if it's good enough, or I'm in abundance. What I desire for me and for others? Abundance, of course. And this is really the energy part of the money. How to feel the energy of the money. Yeah. In the extremes, when I don't have enough, when I have a lot, the extremes. Yeah. Then the energy is more not visible is not the word, but it's more present. It's easier to feel. Yeah. Well, at least for me. One way to enter in the circle of the abundance is the gratitude. And the powerful connection with gratitude, for me, came from our ancestors. Thinking that the life is passing through for generations. And if I'm understanding that money is self-worth, self-worth is part of the life, or important part of life. Being grateful because now I have time to think about it, to be part of a webinar about it, to buy a book with this topic, to work with specialists about my issues regarding money, is because in the past, and Ravia told you something so important in her family. In the past, our ancestor did something that now is facilitating our life. And because this, I'm grateful. And my internal sense of abundance can increase when I'm grateful that I have much, much more resources to live my dreams than in the past. And if I can offer, as I have what is most important, that is life. If I can return to my community, my family, my neighborhoods, my colleagues, universe, if I can return what I have the best, I will feel more and more the sensation of being in abundance. And as I understanding that all this group here has professional life, our profession is a wonderful way to return to the universe something very good about ourselves. And then I can take a look in my file about my expenses, what I need, and I can check the market, and then I can decide how much will cost my hour, my work hour, and check in my body if it's okay in terms of self-worth. And I can check my file with expenses and check if it's okay too. Yes. And I can see a line between our money, the gratitude of life, honoring our ancestors, and accessing the abundance. For me, it's a straight line. Yeah. And with this message, I'm feeling ready to open for you. For the last considerations, I'm aware about time, and time is precious. Time is money too, yeah. There is something on the chat. I think it will be good if you open your mic now. Could you give us info out? Articles, yes, yes. I have here, I mentioned for you, Gloria Noriega's articles is on, let's see here, where is the, let me check, I have the name here, the article and the number of the year. I prepare more things for you if had time, but it's not for today. Here.
Part 2.
Yeah, let's organize part 2, Sim. Let me see if I mention the name here.
Sorry to interrupt you. If there's anything you want me to email to everybody, I can do that too.
Yes, yes, I can. Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't put the name of the Gloria Noriega's article. The first one was 2008, and the last one was 2019 on the TASH. Then it's easy to find. This is about transgenerational script. And is what I use, and part of this activity that you did is similar what she presented in the last article. Yeah, I put here in the chat my email if you need something specific. It's here. Okay, good. And in TA, I don't know article or book only about money. What I studied and helped me to understand the money in the professional world and as a counselor was an article on Taj either wrote by Keith Tudor, specifically about I think it's the counseling field, or I was in my counselor role when I read, I'm not sure, but I remember his article about it and the difficulty to ask money as a counselor. Yeah. I'm seeing that you know this article, Karen.
No, I was
Oh,
going
no?
to bring us to a close. That's why you saw me breathing.
Ah, okay. Now it's up to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Gosh, what a deep, authentic journey that you've taken us on. You shared a lot of yourself. I felt invited in because the material is so interesting. And I've also felt safe. You created a safe space for us all. You really share your knowledge in a very beautiful way. It comes from deep within you, which I think invited me to go really within me. So thank you for your time and energy and commitment to be with us in this way. So part
Thank
two.
you.
Suggestion.
Thank you so
Good.
much.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you very much.
Can we have a picture from us before we end it?
Sure.
Yeah, I can do it.
Make sure his hair's right.
Some perfume. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. No, not yet. 1, 2. What happened here? 3. Now, yeah, I will send to Marguerite then. Okay.
Great. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Michelle.
much.
Thank you very much.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you
Thank you
all.
very much.
Bye.
Until the next
Bye-bye.
time.
Will be a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Ashkan. Thank you, Michelle. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Marguerite. I think we
And I
can
love
stop
the idea of a part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Let's stop
We're
the
still
recording.
recording.
Yeah.
Recording.